Welcome back to Factorio, building the Hyperbase. It's actually been a week or so since I last picked this up, but I know we need to get the oil up pronto, so I'm just trying to get the pipes into the rocket fuel part sorted. We actually have quite a lot to do. Which is maybe why I took a break. It seems to be taking quite a while to get this whole thing up and running, but we will get there. That's slightly unfortunate. That doesn't seem to want to work. Am I doing things slightly differently over there? No. Oh, there we go. That works. What about there? No, that doesn't. Well, that actually should be that, and then it doesn't matter if that other thing doesn't work, I think. Yeah, that's what I want. 1, 2. If it's slightly confusing, I'm just trying to use a blueprint to and now I've lost what I was trying to do exactly. Yeah, lining up a blueprint to feed all of these guys up to that row. How are we doing for pipes? We still have some. That's sort of surprising. And as a side benefit, they're actually putting down some substations as well. So we need to do that once or twice more, I think. 1, 2, 3. 4. I think there's one final time. Maybe it would be better actually just to take a copy of this whole thing again and slap it down. Yeah. Nope, nope. Nope. Nope, 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 nope. Nope, nope. Nope. Right, let's do that. But working out exactly where one starts and one finishes off is somewhat tricky. Alright, it's about there. And it runs through to where we get the double up, which seems to be about there. That might actually be 2 that I've taken accidentally, but never mind. There we go. Hopefully that's largely correct. We're out of pipes, of course, so we are going to need to get some more pipes. What else are we out of? These don't appear to be powered. Amazingly enough, all of these have interconnecting power. Something is wrong here. Yeah, they're not supposed to be like that. Well, that one's not supposed to be like that. So I obviously got a couple of things wrong there. It looks like it is only the pipe to ground that we're short on. Let's see if I have any in my box. If not, it will be time to make a run for home base to grab some more. We also need to get the actual oil hooked up. Here we are. What have we got? It does not look like we have any. No, we do not. Alright. Back to main base. And it's pipe to ground that we need lots of. I'll get some more of the other pipe as well. While we're there, we may as well. I think I'm going to need some more of this belt. I am getting quite a bit. I might bump that up to 300 though. Hopefully we can fit all of that. It doesn't look... will we need all those? We might do. Apparently I don't need all of these just at the moment, so I guess we're going to get rid of them. Fair enough. Let me have a sip of my coffee. So certainly without my proper engineering train and supply train, these builds are taking a little bit longer to get together, but we also don't have the horsepower in this database to supply those in a decent way, so things take a bit longer because of that as well. But let's see what happens here. Okay, so that's gotten rid of all of our beacons. Here's most of our pipes. Undergrounds, that's probably everything we've ordered. Alright, let's go back. Big oil 1. We can have a look while we're here at how our 1.2k, that's pretty good, and 111, I think it turns off at about 111. How's solar doing? It's starting to turn into a rectangle at this point. We have 89,000 down, and at the moment we are waiting on getting enough solar panels, so yeah. When we can accelerate solar panel build, then we will be doing quite a lot better as well for that. We have to be aware that, well, 100 is 6 gigawatts. We're not using anything like that at the moment. What are we using? We're using about 2.3, so we're under half of our total, but once we start laying things down a bit faster with the module rollout, we could be getting into a small bit of trouble as far as expanding power fast enough goes. So, let's see if we can finish this off. Oh, I forgot to get pump. Underground pump. We might have to make another trip. Because for the pipes, so pipes are strange the way that the way that Factorio works pipe is that you get drop off with range. So the first segment of pipe you can get over 300 through a pipe at the very early part, but when you start taking that pipe very far, it quickly drops down, and I think for simplicity's sake I've basically been calculating that in my head as 100, but we can get round the volume by running pumps, because everywhere where you have a pump you basically restart the counter of how far it's gone, so you can go a bit further each time. There is no power over here. Where are these other segments connecting from? That one, that's okay, but where do you connect? You connect across there. Okay. And you're not connecting because of what? Because I don't know. Because everything's out of sync. These should be here. And that bit of piping should, right, yes. I should have looked a little bit more closely at what I was doing there. This is all wrong. because it is not the solid fuel that needs these things. I think I was conscious of not running the pipe slightly beyond. Hopefully it's just the one. No, I've mucked up this one as well. That should not be doing that. The pipe is fine, but this bit is not. That's correct, that's correct, that's correct, that's correct. Okay. So there should be a gap. Well, that jumps that gap anyway. Alright, so this one hasn't been tended to properly. I might have been better off allowing a little bit more space for these guys. Oh, how does it get to here? How have I done that? Seems to work cleanly. So that bit's fine, this bit's not. Or is it? Yes, we did need that. Being dumb again. So you go in there, and you go in there. And down here. Yep, that is good now, I think. I mean, we'll find out as soon as we turn it on if we have a big problem or not. We're bound to, actually, since the way I've built it. You can see why some people pre-build these things. To avoid this very issue. Okay, we still have, and it's very hard to run through here now. You don't have power. Because this one here is supposed to be one of those. There we go. Alright, so this is now all correct, or at least correct-ish. Correct or correct-ish. So So I guess the next thing is to actually get this to work and see how much we are able to fire up. And then work out all of this stuff as well. So basically I want pumps basically from this point onwards. Basically, have I said basically enough yet? I need engines. Do I have engines up here? No, no. Alright, back to base. We'll just jump on board, run back, grab a bunch of engines. I don't know how many we're going to need. Maybe a stack. I'm not actually storing engines anywhere, so we're just going to have to run up and down the transport belt for a moment. Let's have a sip of my coffee. So this is our whole factory as it stands at the moment. Can't wait to get this module thing up and running. It obviously needs some radar, and it looks like we're missing some other things. It's probably beacons, but we have tons of beacons, I think, so we should be able to build that out. We also have tons, maybe enough modules to complete this part and then get this building modules for us. Yeah, we really need those radars. Where are we up to? Just coming back up to the main base. So this is what happens when we don't have any stackers, like we don't, and we now have multiple trains going to most of these iron. They actually get delayed, but I guess it's alright. Okay, engines. That is, oh, that's far more than I needed. I think, actually that could be a problem. How about I donate some of these engines to science? And what else do I need for pumps? Steel and pipe. Maybe I'll get another 100 pipe then. Make that 200. See if there's any steel in the collection. 100 steel. No, there's no steel. You have to make your own steel. Oops, we're getting coal as well. I don't really want coal, but 200. Alright, off we go, back to big oil. Now, let's make, say, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 40. I don't know why I'm one short, but never mind. We'll make 48, I'm too short of 50. I think they stack to 50. That's an exercise we can do while we go. Let's have a big view of the factory. That's it in its entirety as a function of the whole screen. It's actually fairly well spread out, given that all of this so far is just for our launches, but I do consider launches to be about a third of the total build for your factory, actually. In my last one it was kind of hidden because of how everything was able to assist each other, but in this one it's not. But yeah, we're not doing too badly. We still have a few fairly major builds as far as setting up the whole launch facility and so on. We have, of course, the low density structures, which will take a little bit of effort. And I mean, we haven't actually even finished this one, but the general space for it and so on is all there. Right, you need to... I think what we want to do is we want to go straight into a pump. And then the pump is going to pump it this way. And where does this one go? Is that basically where I want it? No, it's not. I want to fill it. We're going to have basically a pump between each one of these segments, and this is another issue that I've got. I may have to rip it all up. Still, it's very experimental, this whole base design. So let's see how we go. A pump there. I could even put another pump here. Pump. Pump. And this way we can force a huge volume through this pump. My biggest concern is there's fairly limited RoboPort coverage this way, which is less ideal than I'd like. I could probably move that one if it proves necessary. Likewise, so we are now having to go to a greater degree. Let's do it using the Pekka. I know that makes some people happy. Does work, okay. And we may as well keep this going. I don't know if one is enough, but let's try that. So we have to give these guys power. All of these ones are powered, but obviously their brethren out this way are not. And of course, is one of these enough by itself? I actually do not know. Here we go. Water, right. Water is actually, do I have any water fill on me? No, I do not. That's another thing. I at the moment this might be able to... Actually, that's interesting. We've actually got these are fully... Oh, not fully moduled. Interesting. Well, let's grab some water fill, some... do you have... Oh, we need some robots as well. I don't know how many robots we need. Looks like this line is... Oh no, it's still going strong. I don't know how many robots we need. It's all a little bit of calculated guesswork at the moment. Let's go back to the main base. We need some robots. We don't need beacons, but we need some speed and productivity modules. I don't know how many of each. We'll start off with the modules. And water fill. I don't know how far we're going to get this episode, but I just wanted to make some decent headway into it. Be really nice if we get as far as actually turning this guy on. Okay. Let us run through here. Grab those. I don't know if we need them all, and let's grab, say, 300 of those. Oh, my water fill's at the top of the base, isn't it? Is there a convenient means? It's not over there. It's just basically here. And there's no convenient stop, so I guess we're going to make a run up there. Oh, the other thing though, while we're in this area, are we making our pipe, our what do they call it? The pumps, the offshore pumps. Yes, we are. Good. 20 of those. I actually probably need about 25. I'm going to give, not because they need one each, they don't need one each, we probably need like 2 in total, and yeah, that's an issue we need to sort out as well, the copper. We probably need like 2 of these pumps in total, but if we give each machine their own one, then there's no extra pipe segments involved, and that is likely to be better for us in the long run. I don't know if I need another one, but let's grab one anyway. And scoot on back. And yeah, I need a path down here just to keep run speed up. All this running backwards and forwards is what my supply train saves you from having to do, but only if everything is connected in the way that you need it to be, which we certainly can't guarantee. Well, it isn't the case at the moment, but... Oh, we didn't get any robots. I probably should have gotten rid of some of these, actually. Can we... No, it's probably better just to keep going. We'll come back for robots. There's still quite a bit that we need to do, so yeah, we're going to be making 1 or 2 trips still back and forth. How is UPS going? 4.7, given the starter base is about 3.6 by itself, and when the solar is manufactured or making, it sort of adds quite a bit by itself. So we haven't really... Mind you, we're not really doing anything either, I suppose, in terms of the Hyperbase component, so it shouldn't be particularly costly. Anyway, past our main base is oil. Main base. Our starter base is oil. Main base, big base, all the different names for bases is getting a little bit confusing. So you need some of these, and so do you. Maybe I need to go in here, take those off, let the bots do it. We're already out. Bots, you've taken them off to the wrong place. Yep, they want to supply down there in preference to here. Slightly annoying. That's all of those modules, just like that. Well, let's sort out the water while we're here. So yeah, this is basically, we need to make sure we're not standing in the firing line. There we go. We have action. As long as you're not standing specifically where you put this, you are fine, because you're not going to run into it once it's there. It's just if you create water fill right on top of where you're standing, that's when you basically commit suicide. So, whoops, let's try not to do that. I know there's a mod, I think, that would auto-place this water fill. I think there's a mod that would auto-place the water. Certainly there's one that auto-places landfill. If you create water fill as an entity, maybe it does that as well, but it's too much to do in the base game, because it's not going to... It won't do both. It won't give you your water fill and your pump. You'll only get one. And typically, well, on these machines you've got enough room for it, but on on chem plants you don't, so you don't get a big enough patch of water fill because you've got the second pipe, but it's closer together, so we actually need a 3 width to fit these offshore pumps. If that makes any sense at all. So yeah, I'm replacing, by giving these machines one each, instead of 1, 2, 3, 4 water or fluid entities, there is only one fluid entity. The cost of the pump is basically nothing, so we don't need to factor that in. It doesn't even take electric power, it just pumps by magic. And I obviously over allowed for the water fill, because we're really only just using 6 segments So we're not even going to use a whole stack by the time we're finished. Is it even 6 segments? Not sure. Not sure how many we're up to. The whole thing just starts to blur after a while. And we are going to have to do this for every section. I need this 3 times over. But then I will need more for the oil required for the rest of the sciences beyond space science. So plenty of mundane to look forward to, but at least I managed to get rid of some with there is no copious amounts of landfill required in this map, and there's no copious amounts of running around having to place solar, thanks to recursive blueprints. Much more have we got? Not much. They're probably switching off at the beginning because the pipes don't carry the product where they need to. Petroleum is getting out, but probably that's just about it. That is it as far as the length of this stuff goes. So yeah, these pipes are going to get full up on light and eventually heavy once we start dealing with the light. This is actually coming up here, so oops, yes, I haven't made this the easiest to get around. These things have nowhere to unload the plastic to. Completely forgotten. That's right, if I put them here, there is half as much pathing for bots, whoops, required as if I give them all their own chest. So that is supposed to be worthwhile. And we need requester chests for the coal, which I had totally forgotten. This is not how this works. I'm being dumb. Yeah, I'm being very dumb. Right. Do I have any request? Yes, I do have some requester chests. So the ones that are not supply chests are requester chests. And they need to request in coal. In the amount of, say, I don't know, 200. Right, and these stack inserters also need to go the other way. It would have helped if I had got all of this on the blueprint originally when I copied it all down, but we didn't, so there you go. This one is wrong. You need to be that way, you need to be that way. That's correct, that's not. That should go that way. Whoops, you need one of them. And you need to go, whoops, not that way, you need to go that way. That was right. That one needs to go that way. That's correct. That goes that way, that goes that way. That one goes that way, that goes that way. And that is it. So that would be enough to actually get plastic making stuff. If we had bots and if we had... Right, so we probably want to get rid of all this rail at this point, and we may still need the pipes. I'm a bit reluctant with that. Let's just head back to main base. Bots are really the main thing, so that's room for 1,000 bots. Let's I don't know if the bots are actually on the network, but let's get 1,000 bots in there. Just make sure we're not we are auto trashing them. Let's get rid of that. That's what I was making sure of. 1,000 bots. We'll put them in this network. I don't know how well it's going to work, but I guess we'll see soon enough. And this might have to be the last thing we do, so I guess it will be next episode before we start working on getting the rocket fuel out of there. But we will need the rocket fuel, so that could be quite interesting, even if it's just in the first instance used to supply our trains that are going backwards and forwards making modules. Right, is it going to give me 1,000 of those bots? Yes, it is. Okay, let's go back. Finally, we will start to see some oil action. Clearly we need some more radars so that all this bit gets covered. I might plonk one in the middle here and see if that works. I don't know, but I guess it's worth a shot. Probably need to look at these outposts to see if they're still holding out. They should be good for a little while though, until we're able to shift some of the bulk of our consumption elsewhere. We're probably, I think last episode I was talking about probably needing another copper mine. That's probably still the case though, with what we have to do still, so let's bear that in mind. Okay, bots. Yeah, I can't help thinking this is not going to be enough. Oops, not P, F5, 5.2, 5.1. They should... Oh, they are loading actually. These do have... So we haven't actually used that many yet. But that is because we're basically out of petroleum pretty much immediately before we got very far. Kind of as expected, because we need this part. Well, you're going to have to wait for this part, I think. guess we could kind of... So I'm probably going to want pumps on this one as well, to keep the flow up where we need it. And heavy. Heavy will probably put some pumps in, but maybe not quite so many. Just because I don't really want to lose the volume from heavy that we otherwise might. Oh, some of these are going to have to move a bit, aren't they? That's better. It's kind of the space that we need. And this might prove to be in exactly the wrong spot. So what this is kind of suggesting, 1, 2, let's put that guy in. Something like this. Because I don't really care how many pumps there are, as long as we get the flow that we need. Oh. Oh no, we don't have it here, do we? There we go. Oh, yeah, I have been forgetting about all of these connections. So we may have to revise this particular one. Like that. Anyway, guys, I think I will leave you here while I finish this off for next episode. But next episode, we will finish off this bit and the cracking and see if we can get some trains running. So thanks for joining me for this one. I know it's been a little bit bitsy, but we are getting there. See you in the next. Bye-bye for now.